Welcome to all. In this session, we'll go through a program of C Programming Laboratory, program number 14. The program number 14 is to develop a program using pointers to compute the sum, mean, and standard deviation of all elements stored in an array of n real numbers. So we have to compute here in this program sum of all elements which are stored in an array. All these elements are of type float. So he said clearly it is real number, array of n real number. So elements are stored in an array of data type float. We have to find their sum, then we have to find their mean, and then we have to find standard deviation of all those elements. Let us look into information related to sum. What is sum? Sum is adding all of the values together. So now we can have a formula or mathematical representation in this fashion. Sum is equal to summation of elements from ith position. If ith position is 0, why? Because we considered array in which we have first subscript is 0. That's why the position of element in an array we consider it is 0th position till n minus 1. Now in case if I say there are 4 elements, array elements are possible like this: x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3. So that's why we have n equal to 4. So the last element position is n minus 1, that is nothing but I equal to 3. So we have to find the summation of elements where in our case are considered as x. So here is the expansion of that summation: x0 plus x1 plus x2 plus x3 till x n minus 1. So now for example we'll consider n equal to 4, assuming value of x of 0 is 10, x of 1 is 20, x of 2 is 30, and x of 3 is 40. When we do sum, we'll get 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40. So finally sum equal to 100. Let us go through the concept mean. What is mean? The mean is another name for the average. So if we want to find average of n numbers, mathematically we call it as mean. How to find average? Add all values together, then divide by number of values. If there are 4 values, add all those 4 values, then divide it by 4 to find average. So this average is also known as mean. So compute this. We have a formula, mathematical formula. It is summation of values x of I, where I varies from 0 to n minus 1. So after doing summation, we have to multiply it by 1 by n. So where n is nothing but number of elements. Altogether I can say add all those elements available in an array and divide by the number of elements there in that array to get value mean. So here is that computation formula: 1 by n into summation of x0 plus x1 plus x2 plus x3 till xn minus 1. Let us consider same example what we considered for sum. If n equal to 4, then x of 0 will assume it as 10, x of 1 will assume it as 20, then x of 2 will assume it as 30, x of 3 will assume it as 40. If that is case, we can substitute the values of n and x in this formula to obtain 1 by 4 into x, that is n by 4 into 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40. So it is 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 is nothing but 100. So 1 into 1 divided by 4 into 100 is nothing but 25. So mean, where in this case is nothing but sum of 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 divided by 4, that is 25. What is standard deviation? The standard deviation is a statistic, that means that measures the dispersion of a set of numerical values relative to its mean. So if I explain in this fashion, if I define it in this fashion, it is very difficult to understand. Let us talk about this in another way using this formula, then you will get clear idea. Now notation which is used for this standard deviation is sigma, and this is nothing but the square root of the variance. So whatever variance we obtain, square root of that variance is nothing but the standard deviation. Now variance formula is this. So where we are going to have summation of terms xi minus mean. So what we obtained in the previous explanation, the mean is calculated by adding all the terms divided by total number of terms. So where each term is will be subtracted by mean, and its square we have to find. So such composition for all elements starting from I equal to 0 to n minus 1, and finally we have to divide it by 1 by n is nothing but variance. Standard deviation is nothing but square root of this variance. Now standard deviation equal to square root of variance means square root of 1 by n into summation of I equal to 0 to n minus 1 with the terms xi minus mean whole square. So this is xi minus mean whole square. Now we'll compute standard deviation. Standard deviation equal to square root of 1 by n, as I mentioned, summation of I equal to 0 to n minus 1, where we are going to obtain a summation of xi minus mean whole square. Now if we expand this, it is like this: square root of 1 by n into summation of x0 minus m whole square plus x1 minus m whole square plus till x n minus 1 minus m whole square. Now if we consider example n equal to 4, then considering values x0 equal to 10, x1 equal to 20, x2 equal to 30 and x3 equal to 40, we can do summation of standard deviation, or we can find standard deviation in this fashion, where there are 4 terms. So x0, x1, x2 and x3. So x0 minus m whole square plus x1 minus m whole square plus x2 minus m whole square plus x3 minus m whole square. So since there are 4 terms, 10, 20, 30, 40, we have to do this, and this summation is multiplied by 1 by n. That means altogether this summation is divided by n, and then we have to find its square root. Now here in the process, we know x0 is nothing but 10, 10 minus 25 whole square, so it is nothing but minus 15 whole square. 20 minus 25, second term is 20, that's a 20 minus 25 is nothing but minus 5 whole square. Now third term is 30, 30 minus 25 is nothing but 5 whole square. Then fourth term is 40, then 40 minus 25 whole square. So it is 15 whole square. So when we do this minus 15 whole square, it is 225, minus 5 whole square, it is 25, 5 whole square, it is 25, and 15 square is nothing but 225. When we add all these terms, we'll get 500 into 1 by 4. So altogether square root of 125. Square root of 125 is nothing but 11.180340. So standard deviation in floating value. So after decimal, we have to consider 6 digit in the float representation. That's why when we do the calculation, we'll consider 6 digit after the decimal point. So it is 11.180340. Now in this program, we have to use pointer. So in the problem statement, they mentioned that we have to use pointers. And further we know that the pointers are used, values are stored in array. So for array, we have to use pointer to do summations. So where to do sum, we have to go for a pointer p. Now before that, we'll see what is pointer. Pointer is a variable which holds address of another variable. So here in this case, let us consider a small declaration in example 1. Let me declare a variable integer a with value 10. Now let me declare a pointer star p. So where star indicates that it is a pointer variable. In case if I remove this star, it becomes a ordinary variable. Now whenever there is a variable, pointer variable, we have to prefix it by a star. Now further you know that where in the case a equal to 10 means, now if I say int a equal to 10 means, in primary memory of the computer, somewhere the compiler will reserve 2 bytes for this variable a. Somewhere in the sense in the primary memory there may be a memory location with some address. So compiler will keep track of that address, and that address is considered into, now here in this case, address of a is assigned to p. So as I mentioned, pointer is a variable which holds address of another variable. Now you know that star p is nothing but a pointer. So it is pointer. Pointer is assigned by address of another variable, that is ampersand a. Ampersand a means if I say a, it is 10, but ampersand a is nothing but address of 8. So where it will hold address of 10. Now diagrammatically represented in this fashion here. Now p is a variable, a is a variable. A is a ordinary variable to hold integer value, where a is a ordinary variable to hold value 10, and I assumed here in this case address is 2000, and where p is declared as a pointer, integer pointer, and it is to point address of a. So here address of a is 2000. So just observe this, 2000 is the value for this pointer p, and pointer p is stored at location 3000. This is just assumption. It may vary from computer to computer, where in my case for explanation I considered these two are the address, a at location 2000 and p at location 3000. So p is a pointer which holds address of a. So a is available there at 2000. That's why I considered value of p is nothing but 2000. So here this pointer is able to access value of a. Now in case if I want to have an array for storing value, further to access elements of that array by means of a pointer. So here is an example for that. It is example 2. In example 2, I have a float array. And in this example, I have a float array x capable of holding 10 elements, and a pointer p which is also of type float, and where you can observe x is assigned to p. So where p is a pointer and x is assigned to p, in the sense this x is nothing but name of the array, where it is able to hold values all are of type float. Now here in this case, while assigning this array name to a pointer, ampersand is not considered. Why? It is because if I declare an array array will be having subscript to hold number of elements. Now here in this case x is capable of holding 10 values, all are of type float. First value which I considered is 10, which is available at x of 0. Second value is 20, x of 1. Third value is 30, x of 2. Fourth value is 40, it is x of 3. Now here in this case x is nothing but the base address. Now here where in my example x is having the base address. So what is that? X is nothing but array name, where array name is having the starting address of array. So I assumed here in my examples 2000 is nothing but the first element's address, 2004 is nothing but second element's address, 2008 is nothing but third element's address, 2012 is nothing but fourth element's address. Because these elements are of type float, so every element is able to store there in memory location with 4 bytes. So 2000 plus 4 is 2004, plus 4 is 2008, plus 4 is 2012. So here I created a pointer for this variable x. X is nothing but base address. Base address, as I mentioned, it is nothing but starting address of array. Starting address of this array is nothing but 2000. Now to this 2000 I created a pointer. So just by having x it is possible to access this, but he clearly mentioned where we have to use pointers where in this program. That's why we created a pointer for this array values. So x is nothing but the base address of array, and that is assigned to a pointer p. So then moving this pointer, incrementing this pointer, we can access second element, third element and fourth element where in the process. So all together, where in above example name of the array is x and x is a pointer to its base address. Now this base address is pointed in our case by means of a pointer p. Let us go through the program. Here in this program we have first line, it is nothing but stdio.h, hash include stdio.h. As I mentioned earlier in all my programs, stdio.h is mainly used to have definition of printf scanf in my program. So here is printf, here is scanf, here is printf, then finally we have to print sum, mean and standard deviation. So in this way we are using this stdio.h in our program. Stdio.h means standard input output header file, where it will have definition in this program for printf and scanf. Second line of this program is nothing but math.h. In this program we are having some mathematical functions. Why? Because you know that standard deviation is nothing but square root of variance. To find the square root of variance, we have standard deviation equal to sqrt function, then summation of that all terms divided by n. So to do this we need to go for math function or mathematical functions, that is sqrt, which is defined there in the header file math.h in our program. C program execution starts from function main. Here is that first part of the program. Then here is that the second part where we are doing sum and mean, and here is that in the other page we have standard deviation. So we'll see one by one line where in this program for explanations regarding how exactly it is executed in our program. So now int n and I. So you know that I, why? Because in array we have different subscripts. Here in this case 0 subscript, 1 subscript, 2 subscript, 3 subscript. In 0 we have 10, 1 we have 20, 2 we have 30 and 3 we have 40. These values are accessed by means of array subscript. So x is having subscript 0, 1, 2, 3 where in our example. And n is nothing but number of elements. We considered where in this case total number of element is nothing but 4. Now I begins from 0. It will go up to I equal to n minus 1. That is 4 minus 1, it is nothing but 3. So n tells about number of element. I gives you to access an element in array X. So here is an array X capable of holding 10 elements, is of type float. So in 16-bit machine, float consumes 4 bytes, and followed by a pointer P, which is also a pointer of type float, which is to access elements of this array X. M is for calculation of mean, SD is for calculation of standard deviation, sum equal to 0, it is for calculating the mean, and sum 1 equal to 0, which is to calculate standard deviation in this program. So this line will display in the screen, enter the number of terms. Then backslash n of this line will focus the cursor into the new line of the program. So now here we are reading how many terms we have to consider or how many values we have to store in an array. Then further we have to process for mean and standard deviation in the program. So where number of element is always integer, and the value we have to read from the keyboard will be stored there in the space where exactly it reserved in the compiler for n. Now we have to read n terms one by one in the process. Initially we have to take enter percentage d terms. So how many terms? It is 4 terms. So in the screen we will have a display enter 4 terms, and cursor will be focused into the new line because of this backslash n. Now this loop is executed to read values of x of 0, x of 1, x of 2 and x of 3. So where our example n equal to 3, as I mentioned here in this example, you can see there are 4 elements. So n equal to 4, and it is x of 0, x of 1, x of 2 and x of 3. So there are 4 elements are possible to read based upon our value n equal to 4. Now initially here when we execute this loop, initially I becomes 0 and 0 is less than 4, condition is true. When condition is true, what is there inside this open and close brace? It will execute. So inside this open and close brace we have scanf, which is to read value of x of I. Initially I equal to 0, so x of 0 it will read. Thereafterwards control flow goes back to this for loop, verifying the condition this. When it goes back, I is incremented by 1. Initially it was 0, now it is I equal to 1. 1 is less than 4. Condition is true, so it will check, it will read value x of 1. Then again while going back, I becomes 2 and 2 is less than n. That is 2 is less than 4. Condition is true, then it will read x of 2. Then again it will go back increasing value of I by 1. I becomes 3. 3 is less than 4. When 3 is less than 4, condition is true, it will take x of I, that is x of 3 again. Next, it will go back. While going back, I is incremented by 1 more, so I becomes 4 and 4 is less than 4, condition becomes false. When condition becomes false, it will go outside from this loop to the next line of the program. By that time, you can see that array will read values x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3 into the array in this fashion. We'll see now how exactly the elements are processed for sum. So in the process we have to use a pointer. As I mentioned, the pointer is already declared in this program, is of type float, and we have array, it is x of 10. So now this pointer must point to this array. Since x provides the address of starting address of the array, we have to just assign p by x. We have to just assign p by x. So now here in this program, in the next page, we can observe p equal to x. What is this p equal to? P is nothing but pointer. X is nothing but base address of that array x. So base address of array is assigned to pointer. So that means first element address, you know that where in this case first element address is nothing but 2000. 2000 is assigned to this pointer P. So then we are computing the summation of all those elements. To do summation, again we have one more loop, I equal to 0 and I is less than n and I plus plus. Again we know that n equal to 4. So here there are those 4 elements were in the process. At the initial stage, we have empty array where the pointer is pointing to the first location, that is 2000. So now when we go for I equal to 0, 0 is less than 4, condition is true, it will go for summation of sum plus star p. So we know that sum, where in our program we already initialized the sum value. Here is that sum value equal to 0. So this sum value equal to 0, sum equal to 0 plus star p. What is this star p? Star p is nothing but value of that p. So value of that p is nothing but 2000. So 2000. So what is that value at 2000? It is 10. So that 10 is added with sum. Sum is already 0. So 0 plus 10 is nothing but 10. So initially sum becomes 10 where in the case. And then it will increment pointer by p plus plus. So currently pointer is pointing to 2000, p is pointing to 2000, p plus plus means p equal to p plus 1. Normally p plus plus means increment value of p by 1, that is p equal to p plus 1. But since here pointer is a p is a pointer, we are doing address arithmetic where in this case. So you know that pointer p is holding address of starting address of the array x. That starting address is 2000 and we are incrementing the address, where in our process we know that x is nothing but an array, is of type what? X is nothing but an array, is of type what? Float. In 16-bit machine, when we say that float, it will consume 4 bytes. So normally p equal to p plus 1 means p plus plus. But where in our case pointer p is pointing to array x is of type float and float consumes 4 byte. When I say p plus plus, it is nothing but p equal to p plus 4. So it will increment pointer to p plus 4. P currently it is pointing to 2000. 2000 plus 4 is nothing but 2004. The pointer is pointing to the next value address, where exactly available that next value, starting address of next value. So that's why we say it is nothing but address arithmetic. Address arithmetic means the address, if we want to increment where in a program, we'll write that pointer plus plus. So this pointer plus plus is nothing but p equal to p plus 4. So now pointer is pointing to this. So that is at 2004. We have to access 20 for our computation. So it will go back. While going back, you know that I is incremented by one more. So now I equal to 1. So 1 is less than 4. Condition is true. Again it will do summation of sum plus star p. So earlier sum we know that it is 10. Now sum plus 10 plus star p. Star p is nothing but value which is available at 2000 is 20. Value which is available at 2004, it is 20. So sum is nothing but earlier sum 10 plus value at this pointer pointed location, it is 20. So 10 plus 20 is 30. So then p equal to p plus plus. So that is again pointer is advances to the next location where in the process it is address arithmetic. So p currently pointing to 2004 plus 4 is nothing but 2008. Why? Because the elements which are stored inside this array all are of size 4. So 4 bytes they will consume. That's why p plus plus means p equal to p plus 4. So here it is pointing to the next location 2008. So while going back, I incremented by one more. So I becomes 2 and 2 is less than n. Yes, that is 4. 2 is less than 4. Condition is true. When it is true, again it will do the computation of sum equal to sum plus star p. Now sum is what? 10 plus 20, it is 30. 30 plus now value at p pointed location. Value at p pointed location is 2004 plus 4 is nothing but 2008. So it is pointing to 30 now. 30 plus 30 is nothing but 60. Sum is now 60. Again now pointer is advances to the next location. So that is P equal to 2008 plus 4. It is nothing but 2012. Pointer is pointing to 2012. So it will go back. Now I becomes 3. 3 is less than 4. Yes, condition is true. It will do computation of next sum. It is nothing but sum equal to old values 10 plus 20 plus 30, that is nothing but 60. 60 plus star P is nothing but current location pointed by the pointer, it is 40. So here it is 30. 60 plus 40 is nothing but 100. Then what happens? The pointer is advances to P plus plus. So because of that pointer advancement, 2012 is nothing but current location. From there it is advances to plus 4 location, which is not actually available in the array, but array will be having address. In that location it may have some garbage value, but it is not our interest. So while going back, I is incremented. So I becomes now 4. 4 is less than 4. Condition is false. When condition is false, the loop is terminated. This loop is terminated. While terminating, we know that sum is nothing but 100. So we are going to print that sum. Remember, here in this case, we are considering just 2 digits after the decimal point. Practically speaking, 100 followed by 6 zeros. 100, then 0.6 zeros will be there, in which we are going to consider where in the process just 2 digit after the decimal point. That's why dot 2 is there. Now 100.00 will be printed because of this printf. Now we are calculating mean value. Mean is nothing but average. As I mentioned earlier in my explanation, mean is nothing but average. So sum is nothing but now 100. 100 divided by n. N is nothing but 4. 100 divided by 4 is nothing but you can see where in the process I mentioned all those values 1 by 100 by 4. 100 by 4 is nothing but mean equal to 25.00006 zeros. But again here also we considered only 2 digit after the decimal point in the value mean, and again it is of type what? Float. So it is going to consider only 25.00 in the result. Now remember here the pointer is pointing to the next location after that 40, but where there is no value. This is as on now. So we computed values of 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 and divided by n, that is 4, and 100 divided by 4 is nothing but 25 is nothing but average or mean. Now pointer is pointing to a location where there is no value. Now next part of this program, again we have to do computation of standard deviation. So standard deviation, again we have to take values from the beginning, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. In this situation, currently pointer is somewhere outside. So we have to bring that pointer back to the first element of this array. That's why again we have to say P equal to X. We know that in the previous explanation, pointer is pointing to, in the case of what? In the case of mean, the pointer is pointing to somewhere outside where there is no value. Now we have to make it to point to first element. That's why P equal to X we have to. What is this? X is nothing but base address, which is assigned to the pointer. So that means pointer is now pointing to the first location of this array in this fashion. Again we are repeating the process of standard deviation. We know that where in this case we have to find first the variance, then we have to go for square root of variance is nothing but the standard deviation. So in this case also we have to compute the values of this in this xi minus m whole square. So that's why here we are using a POW function. POW function is one which is to compute xi minus m whole square. So where in this case the value star p is nothing but the pointer will point to a value, that value 10, for example 10, minus m is nothing but mean value what we calculated in the previous process previous iterations it is 25. Mean is calculated and we have right now it is nothing but m equal to 25. So now star p, which is to point to the first value, then next value, then third value, then fourth value. So every time after pointing that we have to subtract mean from those values and we have to square them. So this is nothing but xi minus m whole square. So this is nothing but base and this is nothing but square. So you know that xi minus m whole square we have to compute. That's why we have this pow function here. Pow, then base, comma 2, that is square. So star p is nothing but xi, m is nothing but mean, xi minus mean to the power 2 means it's square. So we have to do the summation like what we did earlier. Now when the program execution starts, I becomes 0, 0 is less than 4, condition is true. So it will compute the sum equal to sum 1 plus this value. Now what is this sum 1? Sum 1, as we know earlier, here is that sum 1 is nothing but 0. Initial value of sum 1 is 0. So that is what I mentioned here in the program. And mean also we know that it is 25. So now I equal to 0, 0 is less than 4, condition is true. When condition is true, it will compute the sum 1. Sum 1 equal to old sum 1 is nothing but 0 plus power of x pointer. This is nothing but star p. Star p is now pointing to 10 now. 10 minus m. 10 minus m is 25. Its whole square. 10 minus m is minus 25 whole square. So then what happens? P plus plus. P plus plus means P equal to P plus 4. Like what I said in earlier explanation. Pointer P is pointing to a value is of type float. It consumes 4 bytes. That's why 200 is added by 4 to get next address, that is 2004. So P equal to P plus 4 is nothing but P equal to 2000 plus 4. It is 2004. Now currently pointer is pointing to 2004. Next, the loop is repeated with values incrementing value of I by 1. So I is now 1. 1 is less than 4. Condition is true. When condition is true, it will compute next time for this. Sum 1 is, in earlier case we know that it is 10 minus 25 whole square, that is minus 15 whole square, that is nothing but 225 was earlier value. 225 is now added by current xi value, though x1 is nothing but the pointer pointed location, it is nothing but here it is 20. So that is 20 minus 25 whole square. So pointer pointed location is 20 and m is nothing but you know that it is 25. So 20 minus 25 whole square. So it is altogether minus 5. It is nothing but 25. So altogether we can say someone is right now it is 250. 225 plus 25 it is 250. Then P plus plus means currently it is pointing to 2004. So P equal to P plus 4, that is P equal to 2004 plus 4, it is 2008. So it is pointing to here now. While going back, I is incremented by one more. Now I becomes 2. 2 is less than 4. Condition is true. It will do computation of next value. It is nothing but 30 minus 25 whole square. 30 minus 25 whole square is nothing but 5 square. It is nothing but 25. So summation of all these three is nothing but 275. Then P becomes P plus plus. That is now right now it is 2008. P plus plus means P equal to 2008 plus 4, it is 2012. So where we have value 40. So now here it is I equal to 3. So 3 is less than 4. Condition still true. That's why sum equal to sum plus pow of star P minus M comma 2. So that means we are computing 40 minus 25 whole square, where it is nothing but 15 whole square, where it is nothing but 225. So when I do summation of all these terms, I'll get answer it is nothing but the sum equal to 500. Now next P equal to P plus plus. So you know that all four values are finished. Now P equal to P plus 4 means 212 plus 4 is 216. It is pointing to somewhere outside where there is no value or where there is a value which is not our interest. So now it will go back, incrementing value of I by one more. So it is I equal to 4. Now 4 is less than 4, condition is false. So it will terminate this loop and it will come outside from execution of this loop to this statement SD, that is standard deviation, equal to square root of sum 1 by n. We know that sum 1 is nothing but 500, and this 500 is divided by 4 and its square root we have to find. Now we can see here sqrt and pow, these two are mathematical function used in this program. That's why we are using math.h in this program. At the beginning we included hash include math.h. So now sqrt of sum 1 divided by 4, that is square root of 500 divided by 4, 500 divided by 4. So we'll have standard deviation equal to 11.180340, 180340. But where in this printf you can observe that we are printing standard deviation equal to percentage 2.2f. Again you know that 0.2 f, 0.2 f means after the decimal point only 2 digits are enough from this data. That is what mean by from this data we are considering only 2 digit after the decimal point. So that means it is 11.18 only our answer. So it will print in the screen, that is 11.18. So this is end of the execution of this program. Now we'll see how exactly this program we can debug using Turbo C compiler. This is what a program just now I explained to you, and in this program we have statements to compute standard deviation. And let me compile this program first, or let me first debug this program with values 10, 20, 30, 40 for the expected result. So let me press F7. When I press F7, the debugging happens. C program execution starts from function main. Now I am pressing F7. So you can observe that when I press F7, it went to the void main function. Now next again if I press F7, it is going for the declaration part of the program. Now it is going for displaying enter number of terms. Now it is asking me to enter value of n. So I pressed the F7 again, that's why it went up to there. Now again if I press F7, it will take me to the screen where I am supposed to enter value of n. So now it is took the location where I have to enter value of number of terms. So I pressed it is 4. So now next it is now asking me to enter 1 by 1 value. So now initially x of 0. So let me enter it is 10. Press enter. Then F7 again. Then press 20. Press enter. Then F7 again. 30. Then press enter. Then F7 again. Then 40 and enter. Then now you can see that it received all those 4 values. Soon after that it went to the next statement in the program while pressing F7. Now the base address of that array is assigned to P, but where in our example I assumed it is 200 is base address, but in this program it may have different base address for that array X. So when I pressed base address of that array is assigned to pointer. Now it is computing sum equal to sum plus star p, that is initially sum is 0, it is added with the first value, it is 10, so sum becomes 10 now, then it is incremented. Now it is computing 10 plus 20, now it is incremented. Now 30 plus 30, so it is 60 now, now it is incremented. Now 60 plus 40, it is 100 now, it will go outside from the loop, you can observe. So when I pressed F7 twice, it went out from the execution, and now it is going to print sum there in the screen. So when I press F7, it is printing now sum, and now it is computing value of m, that is mean, equal to sum divided by n. So now you can observe it is printing the value at screen. So now if you want to observe, you can press Alt F5. So you observe sum equal to 100 is printed. mean equal to 25 also printed. Now by pressing enter, I'm going back to the trace or debugging part. Now you know that the sum and mean is over. Now pointer is pointing to somewhere after the fourth value of the array, but we have to bring it back to the first value. It is the first element in the array, it is 10. So that's why I'm assigning pointer by that base address of array, because we have to compute now standard deviation. Again we have to compute considering all values from first to last, that is 10, 20, 30, 40 in the sequence. So now we are computing by pressing F7. It is computed first value summation, then incremented pointer, second value summation, incremented pointer, third value summation, incremented pointer, fourth value summation, and came outside. So now all these cases I pressed the F7. Now it is computing standard deviation, that is SQRT of sum 1 divided by n. So now after pressing F7 you can see that it is printing result and it is going outside. At this stage, if you press Alt F5, you can see the result is 11.18 is shown in the screen. Now, just by pressing F7 again, it will finish the computation. Now, let us go for some other value. Let me consider here in this case one more computation. I will run this program directly. So, I will press Ctrl F9. So, now it is asking me to enter new values here. Let me consider three values only. Instead of 4, I'll consider now three values. So three values are like this: 11, then 22, then 33. So when I press enter, it will show you the result, but you have to go for that result using Alt F5. So you can see that it is showed those results. Now this is how it is possible to compile the program in this C Turbo C compiler. Thank you for listening.